Good morning or afternoon, everyone. My name is Mariela Salinas, and I'm a marketing specialist here at Educate 360. Welcome to today's webinar, AI IQ, Decoding the Intelligence of Artificial Intelligence, presented by our fantastic instructor, Tom Payne. We are using Zoom for today's session, and we will be sharing a copy of this recording with you in an email after the webinar. We do encourage participation throughout the webinar, so please use the chat or the Q&A option for our short Q&A portion after the presentation. Educate 360 is so excited to present this webinar today. And without further ado, I will hand it over to you, Tom.
Thank you so much, Mariella. Welcome, everyone. Glad you made it in today. We're going to talk about AI and using AI to enhance what we do as a business. The capabilities are expanding every day. The world is changing around us all the time. And if we don't keep up, we're going to get left behind. So in this session, we're going to introduce you to AI. I'll talk a little bit about the general concepts and some of the modern things that we're doing. Lesson 2, we'll discuss a bit more about how it works and how we produce good value from our AI. And then in the third section, we'll talk about actually using it, ways that you can use it to enhance what you do and give your customers more value. So the first thing that I want to just present to you is that every organization on the planet exists to deliver value. So whether it's a government agency, whether it's publicly traded, a mom and pop shop down the street, a restaurant, retail, a doctor's office, a hospital, every organization exists to deliver value. And if you cannot deliver value, then you will not exist for very long. Think about organizations that used to be big that don't really even exist anymore. I think of things like I used to work for America Online back in the days. They were the biggest internet provider in the United States. Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore. CompUSA, Kmart, Kodak, right? Organizations, if you don't provide value or if you don't compete, you're not going to thrive. You may not survive. So technology enhances our ability to deliver value. And if you don't keep up, then you're going to get left behind. Like in the 1980s, computers became affordable enough for pretty much every business to use a computer to help track their inventory, their customers, to help run their business. And companies who were afraid of computers, who decided, oh, we don't want to do that. Like my mom was a bookkeeper back in the 70s and 80s. She did everything pencil and paper still. In my lifetime, businesses were tracking everything with pencil and paper. In the 80s, if you didn't start adopting computers, you can't compete. Your competitors are better at keeping track of inventory and finances and customers, and you'll have a hard time. So if you're afraid of computers, you can't compete. In the 90s, the internet. Why would I hook my business up to a bunch of hackers and crazies on the internet? Well, if you don't hook yourself up to the internet, you're not going to be able to compete. The internet came along and businesses lived and died by the internet. Amazon came along and basically crushed small retail. Amazon is crushing Sears. Sears, by the way, Sears became huge by taking advantage of the latest technology in the late 1800s, the railroad. Sears crushed local mercantile shops by having a catalog and you can order things, and the railroad enabled delivery, right? So Amazon comes along and now they're using the internet and it crushes Sears. Sears is struggling to survive. Blockbuster Video used to be huge, but when the internet bandwidth got high enough, Netflix started streaming movies and streaming services crushed, the video rental store. That doesn't really exist anymore. In the 2000s, it was smartphones. There's no way I'm going to let my employees put corporate data on their own smartphone. Well, if you don't let people do that, then your competitors are getting employees contributing day and night at home, on vacation. If I let my employees use their smartphone, then we can deliver a lot more value. In the 2010s, move into the cloud. If you don't move to the cloud, you're paying more for everything you do compared to somebody who's doing it in the cloud. If you have your own data center and your own server and your own OS licenses and your own software licenses and your own employees and you're paying your own power bill, That's a lot to pay for, where now I can just subscribe to Microsoft Azure. And for like 30 bucks a month, I can get like all this stuff. The cloud, if you don't adopt the cloud, you're not going to be able to compete in the 2020s. That's where we are right now. We're in the middle of it. It is machine learning and AI. If you don't take advantage of AI as well as your competitors do, you're going to get left behind. So the business, everything's evolving. And if you don't go along for the ride, you're going to be in trouble. So AI is a vital thing we need to be worried about, thinking about, utilizing to deliver value. If you're using AI, you can deliver more value than if you're not. If you're just relying on manual labor versus computerized AI, you're gonna struggle. So AI is focused on simulating human capabilities, right? What we used to think, oh, computers are good at doing math, but computers aren't good at being creative. Not anymore, right? Chat GPT can write poetry, right? So let's talk about the evolution a little bit. In the 90s, IBM created a machine called Deep Blue, and it was able to beat the best human chess player that we've ever had. Kasparov is widely known as the best chess player, best human chess player ever. Even the current best human chess player, says Kasparov was the best ever. IBM made a computer that beat him. Now, was that AI? Kind of. They used what was called an expert system, where all the best human chess players in the world taught the machine, here's what to do in every situation. And Deep Blue beat the best human chess player. So if your business wants to be better than your competitor, maybe an AI can be better than your competitor. So expert systems can be used for business purposes as well. Now, machine learning goes above and beyond like an expert system. Machine learning uses a lot of statistical methods to do things. So like when you go shopping and you use a frequent shopper card, the grocery store knows who you are. Or when you're browsing the web and you shop online, Amazon knows who you are. Netflix knows you. Netflix knows what movies you like. Companies know what kind of products you like. And if you can deliver coupons to me for things that I want, that's valuable. I'll probably shop at your store. If you send me coupons for things I don't want, then I'm not going to shop at your store. So we can use statistical methods to know, like, hey, this person is 5 months pregnant. And I know because that's, this kind of behavior means you're probably this kind of person. So I know I can market to you, Pampers and strollers and things that you're going to want if you're pregnant. So we get to know the situation with machine learning. And machine learning is cool because it's like you don't have to tell the machine the rules exactly. It can figure it out. With machine learning algorithms, I don't have to tell a machine that oranges that are bad are discolored and are smaller or whatever. It can figure that stuff out. Now, the most recent advances in AI are neural networks and reinforcement learning and generative AI. So I want to talk about AlphaGo real quick. There was a company, now this happened, within the last 5 to 7 years. There's a game called Chinese chess, or it's Go, and it's a game, it's like chess, but it's way more complex. So there's no way to make an expert system play this game of Go. But this company called DeepMind, they taught a machine the rules of the game, and they basically let it play games of Go against itself over and over and over again. And computers can do that so quickly that within the span of months, this machine can play more games of Go than a human could play if they spent their whole life devoted to the game. So this machine, when it played games of Go, took notes. What did I do when I won? What did I do when I lost? And it learned how to strategize. It learned, the game of Go, people thought, oh, it takes intuition. That's something a computer will never have, right? So the AlphaGo played the best human Go player on the planet, Lee Sedol, and it beat the best human Go player 4 out of 5 times. And in hindsight, it's a miracle that the human won a game. That's crazy. He's so good at Go that he could beat this machine that is crazy intelligent. Now, the game of Go, there was one move. This is what's interesting. AI, there wasn't experts that told it what to do. It learned on its own. So there was one move that was made where it was like the Super Bowl. There were play-by-play announcers and everything. The play-by-play announcers, the machine made a move that they said, well, that's a glitch. That's a mistake. That shouldn't have happened. But that move ended up being a pivotal move that made it win the game. And Lee Sedol was like, I would have never thought of that. There was no human that taught it to make that move. It learned on its own. So machines are getting really good at learning things. There's machines that beat the best Jeopardy players ever. There's machines that we can talk to. Siri and our Amazon Alexa devices. ChatGPT can produce artistic works, can produce code, can produce poems. AI can drive cars, right? The AI is changing the world. And if we're not along for the ride, we might get left behind. So there's AI algorithms that process massive amounts of data and can be able to tell us, hey, this is a virus, or hey, here's what the trend is. There's algorithms that can learn from their own experience, this reinforcement learning, and it can learn things that the humans never taught it. Now that's a little scary sometimes, but AI can do tasks that we used to think were out of the realm of a computer to do. So when I worked at America Online, the company was growing so fast, we couldn't keep up with all the tech support calls. So they hired more and more people. They hired an army of tech support agents to try to keep up. And as fast as they could hire humans, we couldn't keep up. People were waiting on hold for like an hour, and then they'd talk to some new employee that didn't know how to solve much. So they waited for an hour to get a tech support agent that wasn't really very good at it yet. Well, if we had chatbots, AI, now we can have an AI chatbot that can handle all of the basic requests, all the basic questions. You can simply teach your chatbot. Your chatbot is capable of understanding the question and being able to answer in English. Here's the best way to solve your problem. And now if the chatbot can't handle it, then it's okay to go in and get a human involved. So you can think of the chatbot as handling all the basic stuff. And then if you need somebody more creative than the chatbot is or something like that, you can still include a human if you need to. Now, the latest AI algorithms, they work the best when you have a lot of data. So companies store a ton of data. We call it big data. We have so much data coming from different data sources, data warehouses where we collect all this data. And the more data we have, the better a decision the AI can make. The algorithm is the process for figuring out the answer. The data is the input that the algorithm uses. And big data, the more data we have, the better the results we'll get, even if the algorithm isn't perfect. Good data will help a lot. So if we have a lot of good data, we'll get better outcomes. So remember, every organization exists to deliver value, right? So let's say you are a grocery store. How much milk should you put on the shelves? If you don't have enough milk, customers come in and they buy all the milk, and then more customers come and there's no milk for them. So what do? They take the money that's in their pocket, they walk out your front door and they buy your competitor's milk because you didn't have milk. So value is walking out the door. If you decide, okay, I don't want that, so you order more milk. Well, now if you have too much milk, the milk expires. And now you have all this expired milk that you didn't have enough people buying. So what do? You dump it down the drain. You're dumping value down the drain. So if you don't have the right amount of milk, your value's walking out the door, value's getting dumped down the drain, and your business isn't maximizing its value. If you get the exact right amount of milk on the shelves, you're maximizing value. You're going to outcompete your competitors who aren't getting the right amount of milk. So how do you get the right amount of milk? You get data. You analyze the data and have a machine analyze the data, and it can tell you exactly how much milk. Now, the more data we get from different sources, how much milk would you need if it was snowy? How much milk do you need on a Tuesday, right? How much milk do you need in this or that situation? So AI can process the data quickly and help you make really good decisions that help your business deliver more value. Or even if you're a government entity, help you spend my taxpayer money more efficiently. Wouldn't that be nice if the government does that more, right? So AI can do things that are superhuman. AI can process tremendous amounts of data way better than a human can, right? When that machine beat the best chess player, it's because it could analyze all the possibilities faster, better than a human can. Now, where AI still may be lacking, where humans might still have an advantage, might be emotional intelligence. We might have a better understanding of, culture and civility and things like that. Where an AI machine, they're still working on that maybe a little bit, but we can work together, right? If we have an AI make a decision, it can also tell us how confident it is in its decision. And then we can have a human come in and say, hey, if the AI isn't confident enough, maybe a human will come in and do that. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say you're a car insurance company, nationwide car insurance company. Anytime one of your customers gets in an accident, there's a decision that needs to get made. Is that car repairable or is that car totaled? Repairable or totaled? So if somebody gets in an accident in Omaha, Nebraska, we have to have a person go analyze it in Omaha. Somebody gets in an accident in Portland, Oregon. Somebody gets in an accident in Tallahassee, Florida. We got to have people there to make the decision, right? Well, that means we're hiring an army of humans to go make that decision. How about we let our customers submit, 3 to 5 photos of their car, and an AI that's been trained, it's looked over all the past photos, and whether we marked it repairable or totaled, it's looked at all the photos and what humans decided to do with it, and it's now learned, here's what we want. And now the customer can submit photos, and the AI device can say totaled, repairable, and it'll say how confident it is. I'm 98% confident that's totaled. Okay, I trust the AI. We didn't have to hire a person to do that. Now, if the AI says, oh, I'm 72% confident that that's totaled, maybe that's not confident enough. And then we have a real human agent go in and make the final decision, right? So we can have AI and humans work together. And you might think, oh, well, a nationwide car insurance, they have $1 million to invest in that kind of technology. But here's the deal. For like $50 a month, you can go subscribe to a Microsoft Azure account that can do that kind of thing. You don't have to be a big business. You can be a small business, and you can think, hey, instead of hiring 50 people to make those decisions, I can hire 2 people. And then I can subscribe to Microsoft's computer vision service, cheap, and I can get the AI to be making decisions. Is this a good gear, or does this gear have a flaw and it should get thrown out? Instead of hiring a bunch of people to do it, you pay a little subscription fee to Microsoft, and even a small business can use AI. You don't have to hire an MIT graduate to do it. You sign up. And again, that confidence level will say, hey, I'm 80% confident that this gear is flawless. Okay, is that enough confidence for me to trust the AI? Or at that point, I can choose to have a human get involved. But I don't have to have an army of humans. I can have a few humans do a bunch of work with the help of AI. All right, there are some ethical considerations. The AI makes these decisions based on what? Well, things that it learned, it picked up from the data. And so we need to consider the fact that sometimes AI might make a decision that doesn't fit our ethics. So we need to be able to think about this. There's a story of Microsoft had a chatbot called Tay, and they decided, hey, to learn, we need more data. So let's put Tay on Twitter. And Tay will learn from the people on Twitter how to behave. Well, on Twitter, there's a lot of trolls, a lot of jerks, a lot of idiots. It only took like a day to turn Tay into a racist, horrible thing. And Microsoft had to pull the plug. And they've come out with new versions that are much better. It forced them to teach about ethics. Chat GPT will make stuff up. Some of these slides, originally, this slide deck was created by Chat GPT, and it made some things up that I know that's not true. So, you got to think about transparency. Is this really giving me good data? I have to have a way to ask the AI, how do I know how you're making your decision? So there's this link here, Microsoft. Let me send you this link. If we follow Microsoft's responsible AI link, skip verification. Hang on. Microsoft has a whole website devoted to making sure your AI is fair and reliable and transparent and inclusive. If your AI is coded by a bunch of middle-aged white guys, is it going to think like a middle-aged white guy? Well, what about everyone else? How would everyone else think about this stuff? So we need to think about how our AI is going to do these things. So just look up Microsoft responsible AI. You'll find that. What new jobs and how many will be created to replace those that come obsolete due to AI? My job, I think, might get replaced by AI. An educator would, AI will be better at knowing exactly what you need to hear about and the analogies you like. But you know what? I think humans will still be involved a lot. When the car was invented, blacksmiths became obsolete, right? But now we have car mechanics. There's a bunch of jobs. There's mechanics and designers. And so there's a bunch of jobs that get created when a new technology comes around. So electricity gets invented. All of our candlestick maker jobs are rare, but you know what? They still sell plenty of candles at Bath and Body Works. So I don't know that I'm so worried about losing jobs that I kind of, I think the, I meant to show you that a responsible AI thing. I was on the wrong screen. At any rate, I think there will be plenty of new jobs. Like now, instead of being a data analyst, it's about giving good prompts to your AI, because we got to learn how to ask the AI the right questions to get the right answers. So, there's plenty of great jobs that are going to be available. Let me post that link. That's not the one I was looking for. Sorry, I was going to post that Microsoft link, but I'm struggling here. Believe it or not. See, an AI would have done this so much faster and better than me. So here is the link to the Microsoft responsible AI page. All right. So AI can help us make decisions. So it might replace some human jobs, like taxi drivers of the future might just be automated. And so humans don't have to do that job, but there's still going to be jobs for other things that come around. But AI helps you make better decisions. Your business needs to make good decisions to thrive. So what do? Well, we turn data, this little progression down here in blue, data, we store all this data, and data that's human readable is information. And so humans read that information. Why? To learn, to gain knowledge. So as we gain knowledge, we learn things and we use that knowledge to make smart decisions. That's wisdom. So turning data into wisdom, that's what we do as business owners, as employees. Bad decisions, if you've ever been, involved in an organization that made a bad decision, sometimes it's just bad luck because the world changed all around us. But a lot of times a bad decision was made because the decision maker just didn't know that thing that you knew. If the decision maker knew what you had known, they wouldn't have made that decision maybe. So to help the decision makers make better decisions, we need to give them good information, good knowledge. So the AI can feed the best information to your decision makers, and we can make better decisions. So AI may not always make the decision for you, but AI can give you the best information so that you make the best decision. How much milk should we stock? 57 gallons. On a Wednesday in late January, 57 gallons is what I need. Now on a Thursday in late June, maybe it's a totally different number, but we can make a better decision because we have that. Right? AI can automate some of the decision making. My auto insurance example, right? Maybe it can make the decision and I can trust it as long as its confidence is high enough or whatever. At some point, right, AI can help us make decisions that maybe we would have never made. AlphaGo made a move at that game that no human thought was a good move, but in the end, it won the game because of that move, right? If you don't have enough data, there's that same company that made AlphaGo is also solving this complex problem of protein folding. And there's people who do like their dissertation on protein folding and they spend their whole college career folding one kind of protein and figuring out how it works. And then you can use that in medical situations. Well, AI is handling protein folding and there's not a lot of data to feed in. So it kind of has to use some techniques to recycle the data it has. So at any rate, it can get better and better at solving these problems and answering these questions. So your industry will probably be impacted by AI. If you're in healthcare, right? The AI, right? We send people to medical school to learn all the possibilities and then they practice medicine. They learn, oh, these symptoms mean this and that means that. Imagine having one doctor with every doctor's knowledge built into it. Having an AI nurse or doctor help analyze x-rays will see things that maybe the human missed. In finance, imagine having an AI that sees the trend before everyone else. Having AI that knows, hey, if we have more of this product, we'll do better. Or if we invest in that thing, it's going to make money. Now, I think it's somewhat unpredictable. The markets are crazy, but if you have better data, you can make a better decision. In manufacturing, we know what to make. We know that this little flaw will cause a problem, in 20 years. So that flaw needs to be corrected or whatever. We can make sure that if a machine is starting to have a little bit of a wiggle, then I know that something's coming loose. The AI can fix it. Even like a printer. Imagine your printer is running low on toner. If you don't notice that and it runs out, then no one can use the printer until we fix it. The AI can notice before it happens, predict exactly when it's going to run out, change out the printer so we don't waste any, but we also don't have any downtime, and boom, our process just flows. Jennifer, question, did I miss it? Or feel free to post questions and I'll be happy to answer them. So as far as jobs, there's all sorts of jobs that I think might be modified by the way AI does their things. So, all right. So in conclusion, we're running out of time here, but AI is really good at doing natural language now, where computers used to not be good at that. Remember when computers sounded like robots? They don't. They sound like us. You can have something be read out loud to you and it sounds like a human's reading it. The machine can understand me. When I very first got an Amazon Alexa device, it would misunderstand my kids all the time. Now it's really good at understanding different accents, different age groups, right? You can have AI process resumes to give you the best candidate. You can have AI that processes Twitter messages and auto responds to any Twitter message that meets certain requirements. AI understands language. AI can do things that humans used to be required to do. You can have AI help you out. So I have a question. Searching through a library database to get every published paper on a particular topic, can we trust that various AI programs will truly have access to published works that they're normally behind paywalls? I think I don't have a definitive answer for that, but I would say trust is a tricky word. Like, I don't know that I would trust a person with that. So trusting AI, it might do better than your best human, but I think you could still verify. In self-driving car situations where people's lives are on the line, AI is going to have to prove itself so that we can do that properly. So let me just say once again, we talked about healthcare and finance and manufacturing. It almost doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you need AI capabilities, you can subscribe to them, right? And I focus on Microsoft. Google Cloud has AI offerings. Amazon Web Services has AI offerings. If we go look at the Microsoft Azure AI offerings, we can find out that Microsoft, if you want to subscribe, you can get translation services in the cloud. You don't have to hire a translator. I got a degree in German thinking maybe I'll be a translator. You don't need to hire me. You can get an AI translator. You can do AI vision. You can teach AI, here's what good products look like and bad products. And it can classify things. AI can recognize people. Hey, the person who broke into your store 3 days ago, they're in the store now when it's open. Like, we can recognize maybe people. We can do document intelligence. So I can feed in receipts. If you've ever submitted for reimbursement and you had to like type in the amount and the date, well, every company's receipts might look different, but AI can tell, oh, there's the total, there's the date, there's the store you bought from. And so we can scan it in and it knows all that stuff without humans doing the data entry. It can recognize handwriting and convert it into data in a database, right? And we can subscribe to these services, and they don't even, it doesn't even cost that much. If I go and I look up the pricing here for Azure AI Vision, we'll find out, see pricing details, that, hey, for very little money, $1 per 1,000 transactions. So I can feed in 1,000 images and it can tell me whether that car is totaled or repairable, and it costs me $1 to do that 1,000 times. Plus, by the way, there's little commitment tiers, so you got to pay a little bit more than that. But what I'm saying is even a small business can do this. All right, last thing I want to mention. Because you've attended this course, this webinar, you can earn a Microsoft badge and add it to your collection of learning achievements. Now, the Learn Achievement link will be posted if it hasn't already been. The Learn code is posted. Please click that link, create your Microsoft Learn account, and you'll get this little badge that can prove that you've attended a webinar like this and learned something. And as you take other Microsoft courses, if you want to, sorry, let me show the slide. If you want to learn deeper than just a half-hour webinar, there are Microsoft courses that you can sign up for, and you can learn the ins and outs and exactly how to use computer vision and exactly how to use all these amazing tools. That link will not be mailed. It will be in the chat window. If you did not see it, let me make sure that it gets published.
It's in the chat now.
Okay. I just posted it to the chat. Check one more time. Okay, good. So as we conclude, thank you everyone for attending. Click that link, go sign up, and go make AI help you be more profitable and deliver more value. Thanks everyone. Appreciate you.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.